We've always heard that the Torah tells us that you're supposed to judge other people favorably. Now, this is much more than just a nice thing to do. Your life actually depends on it. Here's why.
Is altabetel mareu, sagt Chassidus. Da einmal was Hemetzer gefühlt hat, Chisorna verliehen. Noch mehr der Chisorn nicht da. Und noch mehr der Chisorn warf sich in den. A viele Chiges, a viele Summe. Ich beschaß, hat sich wegen ihm allein darf Tschuwe tun, ja, der ihn nicht benafsche. Und darf sie verrichten. Bei mir war immer Mure, wenn das redet sich wegen sich allein. Es redet sich wegen Zweiten, ist weh mir Lamitz Fuß Alkohol hoda. Und wir haben Meirich in Tanja, die alle Protein, was in Seichel Hagashmi, von Seichel Anushi kommen Masbir sein. A wie sie selten Teis der zweite Ried, kannst du mit zu sein, nicht du wirst sich abnahmen. Du mit zu sein, wie Teh Rebbe sagt, das ist Schus Amiti.
Seeing another person means that you have to actually work really hard to justify their behavior. Maybe it was their upbringing, maybe they had a troubled childhood, maybe they're going through difficulties in their marriage, maybe they stressed out from work, and try to find real reasons as to how you can justify the behavior and give them the benefit of the doubt. But here's the kicker, and here's why. You see, it says in the oral Torah, Ethics of the Fathers, that a person needs to always remember three things: where they come from, where they're going, and before whom you're destined to give a verdict and an accounting. Now, the first two make a lot of sense. You have to know where you come from. You got to remember your humble beginnings. You come from a putrid drop of semen, so don't get excited about yourself. Every human being is just the same. Where you're going to the grave. So again, don't get excited about yourself. Don't become arrogant. Don't become consumed with ego. Don't be a narcissist, because we're all going to the same destination. But the third directive, remember before whom you're going to be giving a verdict and an accounting. Now, the words of Torah are precise. So when it says verdict and an accounting, that's very, very strange. Because normally what happens is that the accounting comes before the verdict. The accounting precedes the verdict. First you get an accounting, then you get a verdict. The only places you can have a verdict before the accounting is in totalitarian regimes and dictatorships like Iran and North Korea and other backward countries that are dictatorships that don't allow for due process. Why then would the Torah tell us that you have to know before whom you're going to be giving a verdict and an accounting, as if to imply to us that our accounting is inconsequential to the verdict? Our sages explain something magnificent. By the time you reach heaven, your verdict is already decided, because you have already made it yourself. Like we say in the high holiday prayers of the prayer book, if we say that when we come before God, the verdict of each person, when we stand before God on Yom Kippur on the Day of Judgment, the verdict of each person on this Day of Judgment is written in his own handwriting. Why would the verdict be written in his own handwriting? The reason is because how you judged others is exactly how you are going to be judged. Nothing happens by mistake. If God sent a particular personality into your life, a scenario, an account, an event, an experience, an encounter into your life, it's not happenstance. We don't believe in randomness. We don't believe in coincidence. We believe in divine providence. The reason why that difficult person, that family member, that troublesome, meddling situation happened to you is in order to give you the opportunity to judge that person so that you can be objective in the judgment. And whether you'll be critical or kind is all a setup for how you will be judged in exactly the same scenario. We know the old story, when you point a finger at someone else, you got three fingers pointing back at yourself. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. This is human nature. We tend to judge other people in circumstances that are exactly identical to our own. However, we justify ourselves, we condemn the other. The way that we judge another person is exactly the way that we ourselves will be judged, and you cannot blame anybody for being biased. It was your own judgment of the other of coming back to you. And that is what it means when it says that the verdict of each person is written in his own handwriting, as we read on Yom Kippur, on the Day of Judgment, because the way you judged other people is how you yourself are going to be judged on this Yom Kippur. If you were kind to others, forgiving, generous, magnanimous, then God will do the same for you. But if you were strict, if you were intolerant of others, if you were miserly and unforgiving, then God will be the same for you. And that's what it means in Ethics of the Fathers when it says that you have to know where you're coming from the putrid drop of semen, and know where you're going, descending into the grave. But you also have to remember whom you're destined to give destined to give a verdict and a testimony, because your verdict is coming way before your testimony. Doesn't really matter how you lived your life. It's how you judged others that makes all the difference. That you can take this lesson internally to realize that judging others is essentially judging yourself. This is not just a kind best practice directive. Judge others like your own life depends on it.